One of the longest lockouts in recent history came to an end last week when finally the employees at American Crystal Sugar Corporation and management settled their lockout. 20 months the lockout went on for, since August of 2011 till, well, just last Tuesday. It affected about 1,300 workers. And during the process of this lockout, nearly 650 or half of them either quit, retired, or were able to find employment somewhere else, meaning the other 650, maybe some more now that some that have quit might want to come back, to go back to work for American Crystal Sugar, which means those workers will now be integrated with some of the workers that were hired to replace them. In fact, many of these union workers will now have to interview against some of these very same replacement workers that have been working the American Crystal Sugar Company for the last 20 years. But let's look back and really look at what this means for our area. When the lockout began, American Crystal Sugar was coming off, frankly, its most profitable year ever. And the employees wanted a pay raise. American Crystal Sugar began to negotiate a 4-year contract with them, and which they offered at the time, I believe, was around a 17% pay raise. Well, almost 90+%, I want to say it was 95 or 97% of American Crystal Sugar workers rejected that raise on the grounds that it would not give them enough of a raise considering how much the health insurance was anticipated to go up. And also another part of the contract, which I really think was the key to this, which would have denied certain seniority levels as automatic payment upgrades or automatic position upgrades, and allow management to actually make those decisions based on performance, not based on longevity in the union. I truly believe that was the sticking point. I truly believe that's why the union told its members to reject it. And 20 months later and 5 votes later, the American Crystal Sugar employees agreed to come back to work for basically the exact same contract proposal that was offered to them back in August of 2011. Why did you pay union dues for years and years, these workers for 20 and 30 years, only to basically be told the union can't do anything for you? This should be a shining example of what the modern unions in America mean. Nothing. What they do is they take money from the hard-working people. They put everybody at the same level. The hardest workers get the most taken from them. The least hard workers get the most given to them. And everybody else is just in the middle. We all know the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people do 80% of the work 80% of the time. I doubt just because you're in a union, those statistics work any differently. I'm sure that there are a number of union workers that do most of the work versus others that don't. And those that do most of the work should have the ability to be promoted quicker and get more money. But that's not the way the union looks at it for the most part. They look at it as longevity, how much money have you paid to us should determine where you go. I'm happy that American Crystal Sugars as a company was able to get the deal that they wanted. And in the end, what they actually signed up for was a 13% raise over the next 4 years. In other words, a guaranteed 3.25% cost of living increase over the next 4 years. I wish a lot of us would be able to get that kind of a deal. And the other thing, when we talk to some people at American Crystal Sugar as to why did they vote yes this time and not the other 4 times, a lot of them finally said, we can't find another job in the area that pays that well. Well, that was the point that American Crystal Sugar was trying to make in the first place.